2.
As we all know, censorship within the media is a very, very difficult topic to discuss. You either believe that we can justify censorship, or you're on the other side of the invisible fence and believe that censorship cannot be justified. I'm here to tell you that yes, censorship is justified. I'm going to explain a number of reasons as to why it's fine to be censored from certain pieces of information, or to have censorship placed on certain media such as cinema, television and music, etc. Back in 1914 to 18 and 1939 to 45, the world was at war, and there was a vast amount of censorship. You can argue that this was not right and that British people should have been informed what was happening on the other side of the English Channel. However, I believe that the British government at the time had a very good reason for censorship of the British media. In both wars, the government would censor what news would appear in the newspapers, on the radio and even in the letters sent home. This censorship was done in order to keep the British public calm about what was going on the front line and elsewhere in Europe. What would the British reaction have been like if they knew that the Battle of the Somme was really like instead of a great victory? Censorship during these times was important to keep the public calm and also keep the morale high within the country. There were also an amount of plans that the British had that they had not wanted to fall into the hands of the enemy. These plans were kept away from any sort of media, and any letters sent home from the front line would have been checked in order to keep things under wrap and also to keep soldiers from saying anything to the people back home. Censorship has always been around, as I have previously mentioned, and in some aspects I can see where it is not a great thing. However, censorship of movies, television, music and other types of media are there for a reason. I cannot imagine a parent being very happy seeing their young child watching an 18-rated film that contains violence, sexual scenes, gore, etc. Could you? This is why films and other types of media are censored. They are guidelines that are there to protect children from watching these types of films at a young age and from experience being scarred for life after watching them. There is also a purpose for the watershed on TV. Anything that could not be seen as appropriate for younger children to watch is placed on TV after 9 o'clock at night, where the decision to watch a programme is left to the parents. I think when it comes down to it, there are certain things children should not be able to watch due to violence, etc., and that is why in most cases censorship is justifiable in terms of age guidelines. As I mentioned throughout the speech, censorship can be seen as justifiable just by the fact it is sometimes done for the benefit of the country and the people who live here. Censorship prevents us from violent truths, and for that reason alone, I believe it makes the world a slightly safer place for our children to live in.